my name is Taylor DeYoung. I will be explaining the scientific method for you all. Alrighty, so the steps for a scientific method is a observation/scientific question, research, hypothesis, experiment, collecting data, analyzation, and a conclusion. So a observation/scientific question, this is a problem or question that must be identified. This is kind of your main first thing to do when you're wanting to have an experiment or study something. The question must be surrounding the environment, and also it is the topic and research for your experiment. So this is your main focus of what you are curious about. Now, example is, what is the effect of studying time on grades? Now, in order to conduct this experiment, you must do research. You may be familiar with the topic. Gathering in information is easy to understand when you're wanting to study, and it also is a way to search for answers for the issue. Now, once you have your scientific question and have your research done, it is best to get a hypothesis. A hypothesis should always be clear and easy to understand, and it should be able to explain what will happen. Also, it should have an independent and dependent variable. Now, an example for a hypothesis is high quality of nursing education will lead to high quality nursing practice skills. Now, that is just a hypothesis that is going to be tested possibly. Now, in order to have your scientific question to be proven, you need to conduct an experiment. So you need to test your question, you need to conduct experiments, and you need to gather information to prove your hypothesis. Now, next, during the experiment, you need to be collecting data. That means measuring items, changing observations, weighing items, recording results to the experiment. This is how you prove if your hypothesis is true or not. Alrighty. Now, once your experiment is over and you have your observations and you have your data collected, it is time to observe the data that you collected and analyze whether or not it was the cause and effect were positive, negative, if it was something that you weren't expecting, and your data needs to be in numerical order as well. That way it's easy for people to understand, and you can see the difference between each other, and all information needs to be backed up with the data from the experiment. Now, once you have your data analyzed, it is good to state whether or not your theory was true or not, if it was proven, if it was something completely different than what you were expecting, and you need to explain your results. If something was a percentage that happened at this increase. So you just need to explain your results and state if your theory was true or not. Alrighty, so many people get confused on the differences between a hypothesis, theory, and law. And a theory, just to let you know, is an educated guess. This is something that has yet to be tested. And a hypothesis is a widely accepted explanation, a natural phenomenon that has been through contiguous testings and been supported by evidence. So this is something that hasn't necessarily been proven or true yet, but it has enough evidence to be supported. And then a law is a statement that will always occur under certain conditions. This is something set in stone, and that is explaining something and that you cannot change. It is a law in science. Now, some examples may include a hypothesis example is if you increase the amount of light during studying, students' performance on test scores will increase. And now an example for a theory, if you're aware of the Big Bang Theory, this is the explanation of the universe, how it began small and how it was compressed in matter and eventually exploded and began expanding in all different directions. Now this isn't set in stone, this isn't true, but there's enough explanation and evidence that this could possibly have occurred. And then a law example is Newton's law, and that states that an object will remain at rest in line unless it is acted upon an external force. So when a baseball hits a bat, and then that force occurs because the bat hit the baseball. Now, yeah. And so I hope this video helps you guys understand the scientific method. My name is Taylor DeYoung, and this is the end of the video. Thank you.